Libra, welcome to your Celtic cross reading. What's up? What's going on? Show me Libra, please. Like always, take what resonates, leave it does not. Do keep in mind these are general collective readings, not one-to-one private, which is to say they may not resonate at all. Frustrating, I know, but also normal. Check out the placements, you will find yourself in there somewhere. Show me Libra. What's up? What's going on? Show me Libra, please. Very good. Hearts of the reading, page of wands. You and Gemini, actually, I promise you I shuffled this many times, never mind what you see on camera. Page of wands, crossing the wheel of fortune, hovering influence, knight of swords, feeling a need to take action. Eight of pentacles in your past, someone who is methodical, practiced, okay, stable, reliable. Exiting a sense of pain, source of pain, frustration, ending tension, any of those things. Before you, absolute truth, ace of swords, okay, very good. Strengths, five of pentacles, you're saying I can handle the break. Four swords in your environment, good. Resting and healing, okay. Hopes and fears, nine of pentacles. Hopes and fears are often just two sides of the same coin, yeah? We are hopeful to be on our own, to be independent. We are fearful of it at the same time, especially if this feels like a fresh break, okay. Outcome, six of wands, triumph in the end. You're going to be all right, okay? And it starts off small, these things too, but the Wheel of Fortune crossing, you know, it's kind of like saying this can swing in either direction, Libra. You know? You've been through this before, something's coming back around, it's time to deal with it, it's past time to deal with it, any of those things, all of those things. Wheel of Fortune's tricky little guy. Let's start right there with that Page of Wands. Let's see that Page of Wands. I may not clarify all of these, some will speak for themselves as we go along. Let's see that Page of Wands, please. Show me that Page of Wands. Let's see that Page of Wands. Page of Swords, Queen of Cups, the Magician. You've tried really hard to not pay attention to what you really feel. That's not an insult, so don't take it as one, all right? Your heart, if it could manifest on its own without your mind getting involved, would have told you something very different by now. But we didn't give it too much insight. We didn't want to. We didn't show it too much curiosity there at the Page of Wands. It's kind of a, that's not true, closed off energy. Yet your heart had a completely different feeling, a much more powerful one. And it was trying to pull it in from the universe. But between the Page of Swords and the Page of Wands, we've had a really hard time adopting the truth of what you really feel. And I said this to someone the other day, it's like, don't you hate that phrase, tell me how you really feel. Well, without sarcasm or frankly just that disgusting sort of pessimism, how do you really feel? Because that's the truth. Not what your mind won't allow you to see, with the Page of Swords being too small, the Page of Wands being too small to amplify the interest to discover more with the Page of Swords. So here we have a more fuller heart that says, if it was just up to me and my feelings, this is what I would manifest for myself. What is that? All right, let's go ahead and see that tricky Wheel of Fortune, eh? It's like what you dared not acknowledge for yourself before. It could still swing either way. We had time to think about it. We've had time to deal with this before. It's come back around, apparently. Unresolved manifestation. Something that your heart knows it wants, but your mind couldn't settle upon. Let's see that Wheel of Fortune. Show me that Wheel of Fortune. I'm very curious. Let's take a look. Justice, that's you, honey. The Knight of Swords, crowning you, Temperance. That's a lot of resolve. Something where you took the power into your own hands, literally. There you are. There's that willingness to take action and to heal, to sort out very difficult feelings with yourself first, and then possibly outside of you, as the Knight of Swords tends to be much more directed outside of ourselves. But everything begins with yourself. You would like to take more direct action on your own behalf to actively heal. Maybe extend it outwards. So why aren't we fully acknowledging this? Because this is beautiful. What is it you're afraid that you will discover if you actually took the time to do this? Your heart knows what it wants to do. Your spiritual self also pretty much says the same thing. But your mind and the follow-through with the Page of Wands, you've kept it really small. What is it that you would like to receive justice for and healing for yourself first and foremost? It's come back around. Something that you need to do to right your own particular scales? A sense of karmic justice and or balance? What is it that you need to achieve for yourself here? That we've had time and for some reason it's swinging back around at you, saying it still could be time. Which is this? Let's take a look at that Knight of Swords. Let's see that Knight of Swords. Let's see that Knight of Swords, please. Ace of Wands, Nine of Swords, Ten of Swords, stress, trying to exit. You get in a really strong battle with yourself about new beginnings, believing in yourself, pulling rank and proceeding on making decisions on your time based on your lessons and your insights about yourself and what it is that's correct for you. You question all of it. You giving yourself justice and literally doing what's right for you, which is something I preach on all the time. It's like a big theme around here. About doing what's right for you, you're saying that's hard for you to do. I'm not saying you're pushover. I'm not saying you're passive. What I'm saying is you tend to keep what's in your best interest in a very low profile. It's the kind of stuff that keeps you up at night. Am I doing myself justice here? Am I giving myself balance and insight and the healing that I deserve? My heart says, I want this, but my mind says, no, that can't be right. Why? Why? What is it that's right for you that do you deny so much? Peace, healing, and justice for you, first and foremost. Maybe outside of you, when you see to your own needs first. Because that Ten of Swords wants to exit the pain, something that twists you up, saying, I can't handle it. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. And I got news for you. You want to. There's something here you deeply wish to address. And you won't give yourself permission to do it. Yeah, it's not right. It's not that the Hierophant is here. It's just the insight that you know you need this mentally. Not just here, but up here. You acknowledging that you need this, Libra. We need this. We need to address this Ten of Swords. Your spirit is primed for this. That means you're equipped and handled to do this job that you say it's not really of interest to you. It's exactly what you want. My initial impression was to skip that Eight of Pentacles. We're going to go ahead and take a look at it very briefly. I think that's going to give us some insight about what it is you're used to doing. Let's see that Eight of Pentacles. Let's see that Eight of Pentacles. Is there an ending here or some sort of disaster that you have yet to get over? You won't allow yourself to give yourself permission to look at it. Let's see that Eight of Pentacles, please. Two of Swords, Judgment, Seven of Wands. You're not too big on asking questions. Again, it's not an accusation. Don't take it as one. Okay? I'll read the cards, guys. So the Libra I'm looking at, you have a practice history. Eight of Pentacles of kind of keeping your head down and just, I don't want to ask any deeper questions. Two of Swords, Judgment, the Seven of Wands. In fact, some of you have a history here of being like, I don't want to know more than I need to. But it doesn't make you feel good about you, does it? Sometimes you have to work through the painful stuff just to understand how strong you are. Did anyone ever tell you that? How will you know what you can do if you won't allow yourself to do it? Oh no, you're looking at a difficult subject that you're like, there's nothing else to. No, I don't need to question it. I need to carry on and get on with my life. But that's put you in a state of want. You need you. This Libra I'm looking at is looking at themselves, wanting very much to heal and give themselves a sense of balance for endings that are difficult, painful, small, large, anywhere in between. Size and scale doesn't matter over time. They just all add up the same way. Hurt. Right? Understanding our role in it, how it came to be at all. And saying there's nothing, because right now you're denying judgment. The Libra I'm looking at, it's in your past history and it's playing on you to this day. We're denying judgment. Lessons here. It's kind of like saying, well, I don't know, I'm just going to leave it at that. That's not enough for you. It's a little trick we as human beings engage with time to time in order to outsmart ourselves from having to deal with difficult subjects or pain, but it never lasts. It doesn't. This is where I talk to people all the time. We end up paying the interest eventually. You shouldn't have to sit with this. There are no lessons. There is no deeper lesson. Yes, there is. It's called you. You will never know how strong you are until you allow yourself to look at the things that have already happened that hurt. Otherwise, we'll always be in a position of avoiding pain instead of being open to the future. Is that what you want? The answer is no. I'm going to answer that for you right now. It's rhetorical. We know it. I know it. You know it. Time, for some reason, Wheel of Fortune's coming right back at you, pointing right back at you, saying, Libra, look at this stuff. You need to. You're overdue. The lessons are not a form of punishment. They're to help you. They're to help us all. And don't get me wrong, judgment can feel like that teacher that seems like they're just out there to break our back and bust our balls. But they get hard on us because they know we can take it. In fact, we need to for our own betterment. Because you are at stake here, my friend. And your own sense of direction and how you care about yourself, how you view yourself and your own actions, and your own sense of healing. Trust that you can do this because you can. I can only see what's here or the proposal of it. You have a strong proposal attached to you. Libra, you can heal. Whatever the past is, those endings, your contribution or it being done to you, you can heal all of it. So while I know you're good at immersing yourself in other things, the question, just suppressing it, isn't going to suit you. Ten of Swords wants to exit. I said I was going to briefly touch on that, but oh man. I'm glad we looked at it because that seems to be the stem of the issues here, the root. Let's see that Ten of Swords, please. That's not the stem, that was the root. Let's see that Ten of Swords, please. It's kind of like I want to say stand up for yourself, but it's not an external enemy. It's you. Stand up for yourself, for you. This is what you need to do for you. That's the truth. I need you to get closer to the truth. It wants to exit at the same time as before you in the future. I know you want to write this off. The Queen of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, gosh, they keep pointing it back at you. They keep pointing it back at you. This pain isn't going anywhere. And the best way to make it gone is to address it. Whatever that is, at this point, it's a cumulative effect. It's not just one point on your timeline. It's multiple points of disappointments either done by you or brought upon you. Regardless, they end up one and the same. We have a responsibility to ourselves through endings and pain and conflict. No matter who was on the side of the fence, who caused the damage or who was the recipient of it, it doesn't matter. We have an obligation to look at ourselves. Everything begins with a self. I want you to have that level of freedom, and I can tell you from experience, honey, this is intoxicating. This is absolutely intoxicating. This feeling, once you get in tune with it, it's a scary prospect at first, I promise you. But once you get in tune with that, when you really know how to look at yourself and examine yourself, you don't see it as a threat anymore. It cannot be held against you if you own it first. Did anyone teach you that, tell you that? And that's It's amazing. You get high on that kind of freedom. You're saying, this is what I went through, and this is what I learned from it. It made me me. I couldn't be this version of Libra without those experiences. Thank you. I don't deny them anymore. I'm not in that business. I'm in the business of acceptance and learning, so I can move on, and I can show the people how to move on too. We're not in the business of denial and burying ourselves in further debt of what we owe ourselves. You understand? So not telling you that Ten of Swords, you're like, I want to bury the truth and get it away from me. You've reflected on that a couple of times, and it's always kind of giving you a sense of confidence. I can just write this off and not have to think about it. And then the Wheel of Fortune swings right back at you and says, no, it's still here. And very powerful stuff today. You and Aquarius had some really strong reads. Gemini, bless them. I don't hold it against them. I say good for them. They had an absolute walk in the park, and it was a beautiful walk. I don't get too many of those. But this is the difference between Celtic Cross and some of the other readings. With Celtic Cross, it can get really real. Extremely confrontational. It's called old school tarot for a reason. Ace of Swords. Let's see that Ace of Swords before you in the future. Oh, your Five of Pentacles and the Strengths makes so much sense now. It's not even funny. Yeah, I can accept breaks. I bet you can. That doesn't mean it's healthy. Okay, let's see that Ace of Swords. You know, imagine that person is like, oh, I'm really good at taking one on the chin. So how messed up is your jaw? How messed up is your face? How many times has your nose been broken? And why do we keep allowing that? No. Let's see that Ace of Swords. Whatever this latest incident is, or for some reason it's swinging back around to you, it's time. And it might be in proportion to your season, which is rising. We are Leo, so we're pre-Virgo. After that, it's yours. So there might be a height of energetic tension here where you feel a stronger and stronger internal pressure to start addressing some of these things. For you, first and foremost, let me make that clear. Queen of Swords, the Five of Wands, the King of Wands. There it is. There it is. There's the battle of wills. I know, I told you it gets uncomfortable. At first, it's extremely uncomfortable. Yeah. That is direct confrontation, my friend. Congratulations, you're going to get there. You're going to get there. And you're going to feel it. You're going to feel the anger. You're going to feel the frustration. You're going to feel the pain. Okay? And you're going to have a little battle between you and you. That same fireside that you said, do you know what? Just put on a brave face and get over it. Put on a brave face and shove it in the past. Put on a brave face and act like it didn't affect you. You're going to have a direct confrontation with that person. You. Okay? And it's going to get really real. But I tell you what, you got the skills. You have the skills. You have the skills. I promise you have the skills. I can only see what's here or the proposal of what could be. They're pointing it back to you because they're saying this is still available to you. Doesn't matter how much time has passed. You can keep trying not to hear it or see it, but it's still with you. And the truth is a beautiful thing. We want the truth to stay with us. We need to discover it. And once you say, look at that, look at that. No, 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 no. The Ten of Swords can just go away. To, okay, this is what's up. That is a direct confrontation between you and you. And if it involves someone else, you start with you first. Everything begins with yourself. You make sure you're in the right place before you take it outside. If there is external confrontation, I don't know. That's not what I'm reading here today, but FYI. Okay? FYI. External confrontation is also sometimes necessary. And by that I mean not fighting. Okay? It's like, this is what happened. This is how you made me feel, or this is what I did to you. Something like that. But only until you're in a good place with you. But until then, it remains as its baseline definition as I see it, you addressing you. Okay? All right. Let's jump on over here to that Five of Pentacles. Oh, yeah. It gets so uncomfortable, those initial stages, because you're going to have moments where you're like, oh, my God. Did I really do that? Did I really say that? Or did I really allow that to happen? The answer is yeah. But once you own it, it can't be used against you. Mark my words. Okay? That doesn't mean we're perfect from that point forward. I'm just saying the pathway gets a lot smoother. All right. Let's see that Five of Pentacles, please. In your strengths, which makes so much more sense now. Okay. Oh, I was looking up. I was expecting to see 40 minutes. I'm surprised. Yours is quite intense, but for that reason, it's a good reflection of real life. Let's see that Five of Pentacles, please. Honey, I have 5 placements in Libra. I have altogether 4 original collectives in my birth chart. 4. It's not diluted at all. Okay, so when I say I understand the Libra process, I promise you I do. Okay, if you want to know, it is literally Scorpio 3 times, Sag twice, Aries twice, and almost everything else is Libra. So whatever's left. and it's a strong, I have one in Venus, so Libra and Venus. So let me tell you, I understand your conflict. I do. But one of your blessed superpowers is to do this. You don't achieve balance by being like, that didn't happen. Because eventually, universe and life presses back in on that. And does this. Deal with it. That's how Libra develops. Okay, so you can figure out how to work your scales. Okay, what's going on? Sorry about that, Libra. Phone call, had to take it. You know, I'm one of those people, I break for priorities. I don't just keep going. So anything involving my daughter or her activities, priority. Anything having to do with my foundation, priority. You know what I'm saying? So I don't just keep rolling. No, I stop. But that's me, though. Okay, so 5 of Pentacles as your strength, and I was just looking down before I resumed, and there you are under the deck, and look at that 5 of Wands right there. There it is. And the moon, the secret self. Okay. All right. So here we are. I already cut the deck. 2 of Cups, the 2 of Swords, and the 6 of Swords. You're saying you can handle heartbreak and that you try not to question it too much with the 2 of Swords. Okay. There it is again, and how we tend to handle things in the past. This is what you're used to doing. You're actually very practiced at it. If it hurts too much, if it's too confusing, we try not to look at it too deeply. We don't want to look at the lessons either. And that's why you got the Wheel of Fortune knocking on you. Okay? Because the time is here. It's not enough to say I can handle heartbreak and just part ways and move on and whatever. It's about doing the work. It's appreciating the journey. In that process of leaving it behind, you actually get to appreciate the moving on and not just burying it. We got to learn from it. It's not enough to bury it, guys. Because it's like, well, forgive the analogy, but a poorly buried body is easily dug up and it comes back to haunt us in real ways instead of understanding that it's appropriately buried and we can really let it go. So it's not enough to say I'm strong, I can handle breaks of the emotional kind. No problem. No problem. I'll just move on. No, this is why I warn people all the time. I hear it all the time in people's language, in their comments, how they talk and express themselves. Okay? I just moved on. I'm over it. The interest that person's going to pay later is really high. Because someone who has moved on and has healed, their language is very different. Very different. You can't fake it. You heard those people talk? I just moved on. I'm over it. It doesn't affect me. Whatever. I'm over it. Versus, you know, this taught me a lot. And I'm sorry that it had to part ways with it. But I understand it was in the best interest for myself and that person. And frankly, there's a good chance it wasn't headed in the correct direction. That's just not for me. There's the appreciation of the quality, reflection, learning elements, healing. That's the journey we need you to take. Whatever endings those are, be they one or multiple. Okay? So I know you've said it's your strength, but it doesn't actually make you strong. It makes you feel insecure. It makes you feel like you can't resolve big issues or ever feel really at peace with them, never mind trusting. Okay? 4 Swords in your environment. Yeah, a little more reflection here. A lot more reflection, a lot more quiet time between you and you. And healing some of those things, you know? Let's see that 4 Swords. One more, I think. Show me that 4 Swords, please. Death. The Five of Cups. King of Wands. Oh, boy. You got some prominent fire in you, my darling. We're talking Leo Sag that puts up a hell of a fight. That's that passion in you. There's that adamant disposition. I'm not affected by this. I just dust my fine ass self off and I just keep going. I just keep going. I don't allow myself to feel pain. I just move my fine ass along. That's it. That's it. You're that person, I believe. Again, not an insult, don't take it as one, that I warn people about. Are you done paying the interest on these pains, on the pains and the endings and the disappointments and the hurts? Be you the generator of it or on the receiving end of it. Are you tired of paying that interest? Because your King of Wands doesn't have as much conviction as he used to. It reminds me of Estranged by Guns N' Roses. There's a line in there that's very distinct, and I reflect upon that. You don't talk so loud and you don't walk so proud anymore. And what for? When you realize all that pride and insistence usually ends up costing us a lot more down the road. You know? Time goes by and it has a way of making us think and feel differently about ourselves, as it should. Point is, I'm not saying you're arrogant. What I'm saying is that fire you used to not have to deal with this stuff. That king looks really tired now. Death, the Five of Cups. I think you want to stop feeling the pain of all the unresolved issues of the past, and that's past pain over a fresh Four of Swords. So when I'm telling you this is some overdue healing and insight, and your King of Wands is finally worn down, he can't put up a fight anymore, and I don't think he wants to, or she. That old energy doesn't work for you anymore, nor should it. So good job. There's that confrontation. There's the emotional acceptance of these feelings. It's better to work through them as opposed to deny them. And then we start to release the pain. It transforms, it does something else. But it doesn't stay there anymore. Good. I don't know how long it's going to take. Now, what's interesting here is the Nine of Pentacles and your hopes and fears. I don't know where that's coming from. First, I thought, you know, your own state of independence. You hope for it, you fear from it, or you hope for independence from all this negativity but unresolved stuff. Okay. Let's see that Nine of Pentacles. Like, who would I be without all this baggage? Oh, no. Oh, you get to upgrade baggage. That's what you get. You go for some beat-up duffel bags to, like, a name brand, the full 10-piece luggage. Nah, you get some nice new luggage there. That's a little more hard-wearing. And handle these difficult constructs, you know? No more living out of duffel bags. You know? No. You get to travel around with the fancy luggage now. Let's say that once more. I'm not laughing at you. It's my way of relating. I'm a person. All right, there's the moon. Okay, Seven of Swords and the World. We're going to stop doing that. Good. But it's a fearful thing, like I said. Getting this confrontational is pretty fearful, but it's also a hopeful thing. Again, you imagining yourself being free from all this is also fearful for that same reason. You have to be independent and of your own free will to explore these difficult subjects. That means stop going into the moon and let your secret thoughts out, your secret fears out. Actively go on the moon and allow yourself to be free of it. That's actually opening a cycle of everything that we kept suppressed under the moon. You're not closing it, you're opening it. All your runaway thoughts, feelings, fears, insecurities, like a runaway train, you're getting it under control. Trying to. You're doing a good job. Keep it up. You're doing a good job. Keep it up. It is not easy. It is not easy, I know. Six of Wands, sense of confidence. Everything's going to be all right. Victorious. Let's take a look. Let's see that Six of Wands, please. Show me that Six of Wands. And by the way, if any of these current pains and owies you're allowing to exist because you don't want to deal with it, you'll be able to deal with it now. So if you're keeping something or someone in your life because you've been through something like this before and you just rather ignore it, that will eventually take shape in its own way. The more work you do on yourself, the the more it's eventually going to start to show in your 3D. So just thought I'd put that out there in case any of those Ten of Swords were fresh. Nine of Pentacles, Tower, Justice. You are much changed. You are no longer that insecure person. Congratulations. The real you was in here this whole time fighting to come out. Really wanting to come out. Saying burying my head in the sand is not good enough for me. I'm a person too. I'm a human being too. I deserve peace of mind and sound body like anyone else. I deserve to heal. I don't have to put up with shit, and I don't have to continue to ignore it. I should listen to me more. See that Nine of Pentacles, your hopes and fears? Being so confrontational, but hopeful. That version of you is being completely replaced with who you really are. It was always there. I told you I can only see what's here, or the proposal of it. Okay? The real you, the proposed you, is coming out in full force in time. And I told you, once you start doing this, you'll never go back. You will have such a huge sense of freedom and self-esteem that you will never have had before. I promise you, you get addicted to it. Once you start, you don't want to stop. You know, by the time I got to that point in my life, I got really confrontational. I remember having just random phone calls with family members and friends, like any time or any other day, except I would have inclusions where you're like, you know what? Remember that time when I was like however long years old and I was doing this at the time and I said this or I did that and I regret that. I just wanted to know. What made you think about that? Oh, I don't know. But it stayed with me. It's always stayed with me, even though I acted like it wasn't a big deal. Maybe you acted like it wasn't a big deal, but it stayed with me for a reason, and I've never felt comfortable with it. So I figure maybe I'd take a moment to apologize for that. They may or may not remember. More often than not, they do. But that person loved you well enough to continue the connection, or they thought well enough of you, and maybe they said you had an off day or a weird moment. But those moments that stay with you, no matter how small or large, we can account for them because we understand where it came from now. You free yourself from it. You feel so liberated. And it can't be held against you, least of all from yourself. I promise you, it's going to feel so fucking good when you replace old Libra with new Libra, or rather the Libra that was always there. The potential of you is great, darling. Don't give up on yourself. It's going to be a difficult task. You're up for it. You think that's swinging back around for... No, that's not a coincidence, honey. The universe is swinging you back around in this position. Again, for a reason. Take them up on it. Take yourself up on it. Okay? All right, let's wrap this one up. Let's do some oracles, please. Open up to you, the truth. It's for you. That energy is for you first and foremost. Like I said, if it goes out externally into a place of confrontation where you feel like that's something you need to do, we'll talk about that later. You start with you first, okay? Open up about wish fulfillment, what this would actually mean to you in terms of loving yourself more. I always have to tell this to people because we forget. We have such magical thinking as human beings. Oh, wish fulfillment, that means I get whatever I want. Hey, no. No. Wish fulfillment on the premise that you love yourself enough to recognize what your wants and emotional needs are, thus you fulfill them. I know, tarot's so complicated. Why can't you just give me the good stuff only? This is the good stuff only. People have such negative mindsets. You mean I didn't immediately hear what I wanted to hear in the first 5 minutes? That's not good tarot. Okay. Yeah, I don't think my channel is a good fit for you. Yeah, separation, longing. Okay, Ten of Swords is here. Endings perpetuated on the receiving end of them. You name it. Okay. Dreams in reverse, messages in reverse. Trying not to tune into the intuitive self. Okay. Not receiving the messages or refusing to allow them in. That's a lot of moon suppression. That's a lot of secret thought suppression. We're done with that. Okay. All right. Libra, honey, I do hope this helped you. Please do let me know what you are thinking. This is not the easiest to read, so this isn't yours. Hopefully you checked out a long time ago. I'm not offended by that because I only want you to take what's for you and leave what doesn't. That's it. But if it did, if it made sense to you, if you get it, if you see how it helps you, say so. I hope it does. This one was really fascinating. Like I said, a good representation of old school tarot. It takes you to places that you weren't expecting to see that day. And it's exactly where we needed to go. Okay, I hope this helped. Like I said, take care. Be well.